Good. Madam District Attorney, the court will hear your opening statement at this time.
All right, thank you. I always get nervous doing this. Deputy Tony Tiger was an incredible man. He was a long-standing member of the Blaine County Sheriff's Office, and he will be missed tremendously. Every single day, he got up and put on that badge, not knowing if that day will be his last. All he wanted to do was make this city a safe place to live, instead of the cesspool that it is today, where dangerous criminals are free to roam the street, dressing up as trusted members of society, robbing innocent civilians, and mercilessly and without thought or any regard to others, gunning them down in cold blood, those who have sworn an oath to protect and serve. Deputy Tiger has gone 1042 for his final time because of the reckless and selfish actions of the defendant, and I am here to prove that life behind bars would be a goddamn luxury for the defendant. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Braun?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Get him, Murphy.
Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the court, I will save my comments about the people's case here for the very end. For the opening, though, I would like to speak a bit about the accused, Mr. Uchiha Jones. Mr. Jones is a physically challenged young man who has endured many, many struggles and hardships in his life. And through all of his hardships, he is someone who has maintained an infectiously positive attitude and an uplifting, fun-loving personality, even under the intensities of all of his hardships. He has remained firmly committed to conditioning his mind, body, and spirit in spite of a long and complicated medical history. As a lifelong student of the martial arts, Mr. Jones holds himself to certain standards of conduct and a certain code of warrior's honor. Uchiha does not have the reputation of a cold-blooded killer. His innocence is almost self-evident. Even if Mr. Jones sought vengeance against the tragically departed Mr. Tiger, Mr. Jones is the kind of man with the training and the commitment to the martial arts. He would challenge Mr. Tiger to a sacred duel of Mortal Kombat. Dragon's Dojo would not ruthlessly gun someone down in murder with a machine gun. That's not Uchiha Jones. That would be a betrayal of my client's core values as a martial artist and as a spiritual seeker. It simply makes no sense. Now, to get to the people's case against my client, with only circumstantial evidence upon which to build their case, the people can only prove reasonably, perhaps, that my client was present and injured for any of the tragic events that unfolded that day. Without key material evidence, it would be unjust to convict my client in the crime of murder, and it would be unjust to remove a valued and beloved member of our community and have them die circumstantially. It is on the people today to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that my client ended Tony Tiger's life. I want you to remember that. And it's for a judge to decide if Mr. Jones deserves to die. Do I think that they can do that today? I do not. Thank you.
And then left the hospital after that.
Okay. Are you able to identify any of the gunmen that were at the pillbox shooting?
No, I cannot.
Okay. You said that the defendant was wearing something identical to... Excuse me, let me rephrase. One of the suspects at the pillbox shooting was wearing something identical to the defendant, Mr. Uchiha Jones, correct?
Yes.
Is that what you said?
Yes, that's what I said. They were both wearing the same mimic BCSO uniforms.
Your Honor, I'd like for everybody that's following along with the case, as well as yourself and the witness, to look at the video evidence we placed into evidence.
All
for
right.
this next question.
Which one? There are multiple.
All of them. There's 4. They all
them.
include the same thing.
Any
Yes, Your Honor.
particular order, since they're different?
Specifically, video number 2 is...
Video number 2.
Yes.
Here we are in front of Pillbox Medical, where a cop has shot another cop. One officer down. They're inside the hospital. I can't move closer. I'm gonna die. So it looks like, oh, they got this guy, this other cop. We got one cop down.
That's committed a crime come back for the hostage.
No, not to my knowledge. I totally misunderstood.
Do you wish to argue it, Mr. DeWalt?
Yes, Your Honor. He works personally with if he says he has experience with hostages and robberies, he would know if people have come back for the hostages before letting them go.
All right, I'm going to overrule it, but on the grounds that, Deputy, you are allowed to answer this question only to the sum of your experience and the things that you have seen, sir, as a deputy, and not to the broader general sense of whether or not it's possible.
Yes, of course, Your Honor. And as far as witnessing for myself, no, I've not witnessed the hostage takers come back for the hostage.
Okay. No more questions, Your
Very good.
Very good. When you were responding to the scene, did you get a good look at the person who was firing and struck the departed Mr. Tiger?
I don't know why they never GSR tested.
I didn't see who shot him, no. I wasn't on scene when he went down.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so you arrived after he was already down?
I arrived as the 1013 went over the radio, and since I was the further unit, I continued on after the cruiser, and Alexander
We're
stopped
gonna
for the
lose this
1013.
because the cops never GSR tested
Okay.
him. I'm calling
so
that
you were,
right now.
So you,
God damn
you
it.
responded after the shooting, but you were present for the whole pillbox shooting, correct?
Yes. I was
Okay.
present during the shooting on forum as well.
I mean,
It
I
was an
never wanted
ongoing
Uchiha to
situation.
perma, but still,
Ongoing
that
situation,
we're
got
gonna lose because of that.
Okay, so
I then followed them, and the guy dressed as a ninja pointed his gun at me. So I took cover, and then they left that area. I then proceeded
All right,
to.
all right, stop. Mr. Kindle! Mr. Kindle!
Yes.
Officers, find Mr. Kindle and arrest him.
Mr. Kindle, please make yourself known or I'll be forced to arrest everybody.
Yeah,
Pick your battles, Ardson.
No, you know what?
No, pick your
Ow,
battles,
ow,
Ardson.
wrong one.
You're under arrest too for being.
That's your
wrong
team.
one. Ow.
wait, what
Hey,
happened?
Kindle, step into the lobby. Come on. Come on, Kindle.
What do you, ow.
Hey, Kendall, I called for a Uber earlier, and you didn't fucking answer
hello?
the phone.
I tried.
Okay,
Have a witness threatened while he's on the stand. I'm making myself clear.
shit, alright. Well, at this point, you're being placed under arrest. Anything... I don't believe we... Hold on.
Okay.
No, I wish. I want to collect them.
Hey, I got your answer.
Oh, okay.
Someone must have them, right?
It's gonna be 1 year.
Lydia.
Whoa.
Isn't this really negligent? What the fuck?
Boy!
Kindle did?
He just got a year?
Damn, he's
Mr. Ryan
not
Kindle,
fucking with it.
you're gonna
I
be
fuck with that, dude.
contempt
Wait, did he really?
I fuck with I fuck with
Um,
Ardson for that. Dude,
You're
I
gonna be sentenced
fuck
to
with that.
1 year at Bolingbroke State Penitentiary.
I fuck with that, man. I fuck with that heavy.
Oh, we were talking.
Dropping the fucking hammer. Fuck this pussy bullshit.
On August 12th, 2019, did you receive a call about a stolen BCSO cruiser?
I did, yes.
Okay. Can you tell us what happened with that cruiser?
We had multiple reports of some people going around in a stolen BCSO cruiser, robbing people, claiming to be the police. We found the cruiser, got in a chase with it. The vehicle then flipped on its head over in front of the Maze Bank Arena, and we chased them on foot. And I was tased by one of the individuals who was later identified as Mr. Chang. And Mr. Jones was there as well.
Okay. What was Mr. Jones wearing in that situation?
All 4 individuals in the car were wearing campaign hats, BCSO bulletproof vests, and black tactical clothing underneath.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time I'd like to direct the courts to police report 9731. It's part of the
yes,
evidence that we
please
received
do. Your Honor, I have to object that the relevance of this prior incident to the proceedings.
Your Honor, he did the same exact thing he's being brought to trial for today. It speaks to his character and that he's done this before.
Also, Mr. Braun had plenty of time to object to this when it was placed in the case filing.
We render him medical aid and transport him to the hospital and process him.
Okay. So just to confirm, were you the arresting officer for Uchiha Jones?
Yes, I was.
Okay. At any point while he was in your custody, did he claim to be a hostage?
No, he did not.
All right. No further questions, Your Honor.
I was being shot at.
Were they wearing police uniforms?
Yes.
Okay. At what point did they get back into the vehicle?
Once we had gotten out of the Williams and once I was driving the vehicle, once I had driven away from the out of the alley, they got back in the vehicle, and it was a massacre after that. They went full auto. They didn't stop firing from the vehicle.
Okay. Did somebody fall out of the vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. Who fell out of the vehicle?
The man that fell out of the vehicle was identified as a Mr. Uchiha Jones.
When all 4 men exited the vehicle, were all of them shooting at you?
Yup, sure were.
Okay. After Mr. Jones fell out of the vehicle, did the stolen police cruiser leave without him?
Yeah, they continued driving southbound on Strawberry towards the Maze Bank Arena. They then pulled a U-turn going northbound on Strawberry, still attempting to murder us. One murder wasn't enough to crave their bloodlust. Everyone had to die, apparently.
Okay. Was Mr. Jones incapacitated? Oh my God.
Oh, all right. Jordan, there's tissues.
Fuck! Sir, did you need
Jordan,
okay?
you're fine. There's tissues over there if you need a moment.
You died like a bitch.
All right.
You died like a
All right, court is in recess for 10 minutes.
No.
5 minutes. Give it.
Why?
All right.
Why?
All right, Mr. Steele. If you need to make use of the judge's chambers to compose yourself, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go on.
You're killing us with no LEO charges.
Court is in
You're
recess while we get this witness.
You're fucking killing us.
It seemed like he rehearsed this part very well.
Oh shit, that's her name?
No, Nino. You won.
Officer Forcer, would you please raise your left hand? you swear and affirm that all testimony that you're about to give in this courtroom is true to the best of your knowledge under penalty of perjury? So help you, psychotic.
I do. I'll withdraw that question, Your Honor.
All right.
Is it true that during the defendant's bail hearing, you made comments such as, "Oh, he's so sweet," and he would never do that?
Yes, because he would never do that.
Okay. Are you aware that since you have been dating the defendant, he has been arrested, convicted of multiple felonies, including several counts of kidnapping, armed robbery, resisting arrest, and being in possession of illicit drugs and Class 2 weapons?
Okay, who in the city hasn't?
Me.
Okay,
Yeah,
besides
me.
you.
Several people in this courtroom.
Me.
My point is, lots of people get into lots of trouble. It's not up for me to judge. He's never killed anybody. He's never shot anybody. His criminal record is not violent. I know you keep trying to imply that it is, but it's not.
He's never shot at anybody, yet one of the officers testified that he had. Okay, no further questions, Your Honor.
And officers don't lie?
Do you wish to redirect, Mr. Braun? Doctor, you may step.
Your Honor, Your Honors, ladies and gentlemen of the court. In the case of David Barker, we bore witness to the greatest extent of cruelty society can be capable of.
That case has nothing to do with this.
Can you not object to my closing?
I can and I will.
We have every right to object to your closing.
Well, don't be dicks.
I will. It's out of scope. Don't be dicks? I'm sorry, what? Is this a court case or is this a best friend's case?
All right, calm down. We aren't talking about sentencing right now. I don't give a damn what happened to David Barker. He has no bearing on this case.
Fine, dicks.
You're in contempt, sir.
I'll start with something else then. There is enough reasonable doubt in this case to fill up a whole other courtroom. Every single witness said on the stand that they did not see Tiger get shot. Every single officer that was brought up on the stand said we got there just after it happened, didn't see who shot him. So that's one strike right there against the case. Next strike against the case is that there is no forensic evidence that Mr. Uchiha Jones ever fired a weapon. No GSR positive. The GSR came back negative. So there goes your material evidence. Everything else is circumstantial. And the reason I was bringing up the sentencing is because we can't take this sort of thing lightly, as the judge said moments ago. The death penalty should never be taken lightly. And it would be a grave and grievous injustice for us all to convict Mr. Jones on this evidence, the vague and hazy recollections of officers such as Mr. Steele. I don't know. I don't recall. Yes, to your leading question. That kind of testimony cannot condemn someone to death. Not here. We're better than that. We all know Mr. Jones. And I'm going to ask you all right now. Do you think that Mr. Jones has murder in his heart? And I think you all know the answer to that. But the people have come here today while these 2, or was it 3? I'm not sure, but these 2 or 3 terrorists running around shooting everybody all the time while Mr. Jones is either A, in the hospital, unconscious, or B, behaving himself on bail. It seems like we've got a great court case for these 2 other guys. You made a great case against those guys. I'm telling you right now, those guys got it coming if you ever figure out who they are. But they're not Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones, GSR negative. Mr. Jones, never proven to shoot anybody. Maybe he was involved in the situation, but to the extent which you would need to condemn him to die, to charge him with the crime of murder, you have not brought enough here today. They have not proven their case, and I don't even need to get into the stuff that they objected to. Mr. Jones is a martial artist. To him, shooting someone with a gun is for pussies. I rest my case.
Do we not want to... Does Uchiha not want to say anything?
Actually, yes. Mr. Jones, do you have anything to say?
Well, I mean, most of you know the kind of person I am. There's not much else I can really say about that. So, that's that. I know that I didn't do this. So, if I end up getting got goog, at least I'll die knowing that.
Love you, Uchi. I love you,
Wait,
Uchiha.
I'm sorry. Got goog?
Hey.
Die.
What is that?
That's his language back in Canada.
Yeah, bathroom boys, let's go. Gotta get a good spot.
Well, they took me off the. They
The
took me off
bathroom
the
was too
game
crazy
plan,
for
but I
me
think that
last
went
time.
well
I'm
anyway.
good. Oh, thank you.
Yo, Ramee.
Oh fuck.
Hose
Let's
man.
light it up.
What is
Hose
that?
man.
Sis? What is that?
Eugene,
I'm in
the vent. Are they looking
Kindle.
for me?
Kindle, where are you?
Kindle.
Where
Oh
are
my
you?
God.
Kindle.
I'm in the vent. Are they looking for me?
Yes, they are. Yes.
Yes.
They're looking for you, Kindle.
Kindle's in the vent.
Careful.
Is someone taking it?
Wait, really?
Oh,
shit. Okay.
Ziggy
Kindle's in the
hears
vent.
you.
Okay.
Kindle, run. Ziggy hears you.
Wait, they can hear me.
I'm
Yes,
getting in the vents.
run.
I'm getting in the vents.
What's
going on?
Is he wanted? What?
Go, Kindle, go.
All right. I'm stuck.
There was a rave in the bathroom earlier.
Kindle, Mitchcom 2019 in the bathroom.
Yeah!
Oh my God. Oh, Mel.
Jesus, Mel, calm down.
Mel, you cunt.
God, Mel, you're so old.
What did you say, Coop?
You're so old.
You
Where did
I say go? Chips is passed out. Chips
had too much. Chips had too much.
Guys, a fucking
Holy
fire
shit.
alarm.
No, why the fuck you punch me?
I didn't know such
Oh
thing.
shit! Get out! Get
Get
out!
out. Everyone get out. Everyone get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out.
Fire alarm!
Get out.
Holy shit, guys. It's a fucking stampede.
Don't let Ziggy up. Keep running into him.
Hey, Robbie.
Chips are fucked up, Chips.
Eugene?
All right.
Oh, bleed.
Eugene?
What is this? This is dance music.
Yes.
You know this?
Yeah,
you know this?
Of course.
Music, buddy.
All right.
Somebody blow some marijuana smoke into vent, please.
Who got the microphone? All right, V, time to take everybody out. Play some Migos. No, I swear to God.
Migos.
No! Take everybody out. Let's do this.
Don't you dare drop the nuke.
No.
Hour of life.
Mel, come here,
Trust
come here.
me.
Come here.
Hi, Ramee.
Come
What do you
here.
need to show me in my gullible ass?
Like a year and a half.
I did not mean to do that. I'm sorry.
What is
I'm
happening
sorry.
in this
I swear.
world? We got people flying.
Don't worry, they're just having a...
I didn't mean to do that.
I'm okay. You hit like a little girl.
It's a rota season.
It's like a jungle gym in here.
Shh.
Oh, no.
It's got this thing. Okay, this is not good.
Uh-oh.
No.
Ramee, please. We're not
All right, you're in contempt.
Oh,
Mel.
Do you people
Mel.
value your lives
Yo.
at all?
What's up, man?
Don't go in there.
That was just copper.
You'd have an aneurysm.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, who's in content?
Why did I see Mel in chambers?
I don't know what the fuck he's doing.
Great, he's in contempt.
All right, is he still in here?
I don't understand how she still has a medical license. I might need to talk to Serge about that later. I don't understand it. It's ridiculous. That woman has got her hands in so much terrible stuff right now.
Yeah, I mean.
So I can discount Choi as well. So the defendant's girlfriend thinks he's a great guy. Wonderful.
But what's new? What's new with that?
Yeah. This doesn't make any sense. No sense at all. Why? Why? Why would you give a hostage the ability to fight back? This is the ability to fight back. It makes no sense at all.
Tora. Chips, what the hell's wrong with you? Get up, you son of a bitch.
The other thing.
Shit, he got
The other thing that doesn't make sense.
What the hell?
The other thing that makes exactly 0 sense is why would you go and try and bust him out of the prison? Or not the prison, the hospital. Why? Doesn't make any sense. Of course, Ms. Foss.
Okay.
I was with Tony in his final moments. I was the one that escorted him to the hospital. I don't agree with the death penalty. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, hey, I'm Chips. I want to say, back when I was a crack addict, Uchiha's hair was white, and I really wanted to snort it, and he always told me, no, Chips, or scram, Chips, you shouldn't be doing crack. He's one person in the city who's trying to get me off the crack. And if you take him away, well, he's not really gonna help me out anymore.
You keep doing that crack, Chips.
Uchiha Jones does not deserve to die. He doesn't. He doesn't deserve to have what I saw happen to David Barker happen to himself. And it would be the biggest travesty of the law if this were allowed to happen, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Jones, are you prepared to hear the verdict of the court today, sir?
Yes, sir. Your Honor.
Mr. Jones, please speak up, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
You eating?
After taking into consideration all facts and evidence, as well as speaking with the esteemed justices to my left here, this is the ruling of the court at this time. On the charge of evading, the court finds you guilty. On the charge of criminal possession of a firearm, Class 2, the court finds you guilty. On the charge of criminal possession of a firearm, Class 1, the court finds you guilty.
How? I have a weapons license.
On the charge of impersonating a peace officer, the court finds you guilty. And on the final count of the indictment, murder, there's a lot of stories going through here, but there are a few things that don't make sense. Biggest item that doesn't make sense to me, Mr. Jones. 2 big items. Don't make any sense to me. If I take a hostage, I damn sure don't arm him, not only with a gun, but with the bullets for that gun. Nor do I try and rescue him when he is under police custody. This court finds you guilty of murder, sir.
What?
This court finds you guilty of murder, sir.
What?
Oh, shit.
Hey, Choi, I got my...
Court will begin hearing sentencing recommendations in 5 minutes.
Did he literally just admit to it? Did he literally just admit to assumption? That's an assumption.
Whoa.
Excuse me?
Wait, I didn't...
Well, shit. Well,
I'm not sure how you feel right now.
Hey, I had a weapons license.
Yeah, I know you have a weapons license.
Yes.
Judge dump season.
Wait, what?
Who said that?
Oh no.
Oh no. Holy shit! I didn't I thought we had lost this whole thing.
Yeah,
The second he questioned fucking Clarence. Holy.
Yeah. This court finds you guilty of murder, sir.
Oh my God!
Court will begin hearing sentencing recommendations in 5 minutes.
Oh!
It's kind of fucking. We're gonna have like a little bit of a powwow here too, because I'm kind of beside myself on the judgment of.
I actually cannot believe he's been found guilty, and I think it's a joke.
No, honestly,
Like,
the fucking night it happened, I thought he was
hammer
going to be
into
found
everyone's
innocent.
head. It's not what you know; it's what you can prove. Like, where's the hard evidence in this? And it's just kind of like staging a bunch of really
It's
bad
just gonna
stuff.
backlash on us.
This
That's
is
it.
so bad.
It's coming back to us.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
it
even
is.
worse than David Barker.
And what it's actually kind of like a spit in the face to fucking like Tony. You know what I mean?
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, I have many questions about our current penal code, Mr. Jones.
It's very radical to just assume somebody's a murderer.
I'll say this. I thought the evidence that I saw presented there, I thought was very, very circumstantial. To the point where I thought you were going to be found not guilty on pretty much everything.
Me too. And another thing, I have a weapons license. How was I found?
Wait, what?
How was
You
I
have a-
found guilty of the charge of having a Class 1 firearm when I have a weapons
What?
license, and I still do?
Wait,
How are you going to charge me
we
for
we
murder?
might want to remove his weapons license
When I
if
have
he's
my
been
weapons
found guilty of
license.
murder of an officer.
Yeah, I'll do that. And I'll inform DOJ of that. What in the fuck?
It's fine. I'm
are
not
they
upset
doing?
about losing it. It's just, it's fucking funny.
Oh yeah, let's just give us a call. Okay.
Goog. I guess I'll try and find a way to watch some hentai while I'm in here.
Hey, if you go into the main cell block, you go all the way to the end. There's a cell that's right at the back. It's bigger than the others. It's got a double bed. It's got a fucking bong. And check it out.
Yeah! That doesn't
Oh,
sound
yeah.
half bad.
Oh, there's some magazines in there that you might enjoy as well. Mr. Jones, we'll see you very soon. Again, if there's anything you need, feel free to contact. Okay?
Okay. Later, fucko.
See you later, Mr. Jones.
Well, hell. Looks like we're back in the fucking pen.
We do the things that we do, it's magical. We'll never be like the others. Rational, our sweet escape, let them think